Well, hello everyone. I know it's been a very long time since I've had a chance to get on here and make a video. I think it's actually been a few months. I hate to say it, but a lot of the goals and ambitions that I had when I started this whole process about almost 3 years ago, maybe a little less, somewhere along those timelines, I just have lost a lot of that motivation as far as who I was. I'm not saying that I'm not who I am. I'm definitely doing that. I'm definitely being myself. What I'm saying is, I've noticed that there's been a lot of me as far as my motivations, as far as my energy, my desires, my hopes, all of that. A lot has changed. I think a lot of that has changed because of I've been dealing with a lot of mental health issues, and I'm actually starting to receive treatment for these mental health issues. It's been something that I've just avoided, but I know I need to focus on these things in order to get better. A lot of things are going great. A lot of things are progressing really well, such as my career. A lot of things are just pretty stagnant, like everything outside my career. And even though I'm an introvert and I'm not a person that likes to go out and interact with others, there's a part of me that is sad that I don't get out and interact with others. But I don't know how to really overcome that. I've been way I've been that way my entire life. Actually, no, I take that back. I think when I was younger, like before I even hit 10 years old, I think I was better at it. But just too many things happened and I fell inside myself. So hopefully I'll be able to work through that and get to be better. I will say that even though I don't have a lot of close connections, especially up here in Portland, the connections I do have are amazing. Between my best friend and close friends that I keep in touch with back in Denver, and extended adopted family up here in the Pacific Northwest, and my coworkers, at least a couple of them, I've got a good support network that shows me that I'm valued and I'm doing the right thing. I am probably just my own worst enemy. And that leads me to another thing that I wanted to talk about. I had posted on Facebook that I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I am as an individual. When I first started my journey, I was very nonchalant in saying that so many parts of who I am can stay how they are. I was going to try to just be as, I guess you'd say, natural as possible. Meaning, whatever HRT did to me, that was what I was going to leave it at. Of course, if any of you know anything about HRT, you know that as you get older, it does less and less to your body. And if you want to see some significance, you have to get involved a little bit more than just hormones. So I started looking at ways that I could be able to see the vision of who I feel I am beyond just what natural processes can give me. What does that mean? Yes, I'm looking at breast augmentation. yes, I'm looking at possible hairline restoration or even doing some facial feminization surgery, maybe some fat redistribution processes to give me more of a shape that I should have, not one that I'm stuck with. All of that is fine and good, but one aspect I was seriously looking at is looking at doing voice coaching. I mean, let's not, mince words. I sound like I have always sounded, which is masculine. If somebody hears my voice and does not see me physically, they automatically address me as sir. And I know that it's not something that they're necessarily doing out of spite. I mean, unless you see me, you are not going to know. Even though I may give you my name, the connection's still not going to be there because of the sound of my voice. So I've thought about maybe I need to change that. Before, I was feeling I'm not ashamed of my voice. It's who I am. But this thought has been weighing on my mind a lot lately. And I posted on Facebook about it was something I was considering. And I got a call from one of my old roommates from back in Denver. And she wanted to talk to me about this. And she made a very valid point. She made the point that my voice, the voice you hear right now, is the voice that made me. The success I've had in my career as a trainer. The compliments that I've had on how I present myself and how I speak has made me. It has given me my success. I'm sure it's not just with her. I'm sure there are other people, even some at work, that have said that there's no need for me to change my voice because they actually enjoy hearing my voice. I do remember my previous career before I transitioned. I remember one of the fellow trainers that worked out of Arizona, whenever we would do training and facilitation and they would work with me, they would always comment that my voice sounded like smooth jazz. Even last night, I had to work until 2 o'clock this morning, helping with some stuff. And one of the people that I was talking to stated that even though they take a bunch of coffee and caffeine before they listen to a class or I do one of the meetings or whatnot, they said it's still hard for them not to want to doze off. And I said, well, I've been told I have a very relaxing voice, so that's understandable. Because they were saying it as, I try everything I can, I'm just so relaxed that I want to fall asleep. That's made me rethink a bit if I should change my voice. Again, it's my voice. It's the voice I've always had. Granted, it's not a strong voice. It doesn't say a lot of the things that I wish it would say, but I think that's because I got a lot of roadblocks up here, not necessarily roadblocks here. I've never been ashamed of my voice. I've not been one of those people that they statistically say does not like the sound of their voice on recordings because it sounds so different from the voice that they hear inside their head. My voice, to me, sounds like my voice, regardless. So I guess I've got that going for me, that I don't hate my voice. It's just one of those things where I can tell that the dysphoria that I thought I wasn't feeling, where I tried to bury that I was feeling, I'm feeling it. I've come to terms with a lot of things. I don't feel that I'm necessarily a man in a dress anymore. I just see me as an ugly woman sometimes. That's progress. Still sound like a guy though. Some of me still thinks like a guy. I still drive a car like I did when I was a guy, which is not a good thing, but that's neither here nor there. But I also know I carry myself a lot differently than a guy does. And I can see back in old pictures from high school that it was as plain as the nose on my face that I was different because of the way I would carry myself. I guess I'm beginning to ramble a bit now. But again, it's been a while since I've had a chance to make a video, so I figured why not. I'm very fortunate. You can hear a lot of the background noise because I am on my balcony taking my lunch break, since I was fortunate enough to be able to work from home today. I'm taking advantage of this absolutely gorgeous day. And if you haven't seen, my view from up here is absolutely wonderful. So I wanted to come outside and enjoy it a little bit before it's time to go back in and get back to work, which I'm assuming is, looking at the time, is right about now. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for listening to my rambling, and I hope this gives a little bit more introspective view as far as what's going on in this cranial cavity up here, and hopefully it can be beneficial to someone at some point in time. Have a great day. Start the enjoyment of your summer, and we will talk to you all later. Bye.